Aaron Boone also had a lot to say about his catcher, about his catcher, Sanchez, after the game today. I was talking about Aaron, I said Aaron Boone, but Gary Sanchez, and here's what Boone had to say about Gary Sanchez after the game.
I don't know if he's different. I mean, we're still leaning into him and demanding that he continues to get better. And the good thing is that each and every day behind the scenes, he's really diving in and working his tail off at that part of the game. Everything from, the game planning and the game review of how he did, plus the physical work of just being better behind the plate in his receiving and blocking and throwing and all these things. So we're trying to continue to challenge him, especially as things are going well, that, we expect more, and we feel like there's more in there for him to continue to grow in that role as a catcher. But there's no question he's in a really good place mentally, in a really good frame of mind, and he's delivering.
Gary Sanchez having an all-star caliber year, an MVP caliber year. And if you look at it, with all the injuries that have befell the Yankees at this part of the season, really, isn't Gary Sanchez a leading candidate for American League Most Valuable Player? A certainly American League Comeback Player of the Year. I mean, this is a guy who last year hit like 170, okay? And now he is absolutely on top of his game. 20 homers. Here it is, June the 11th. And I just look for Sanchez to keep providing power. He's going to hit over 40 home runs this year, probably drive in 120. Wow. And a bit of really good news. I I bring all the bad news to the table. Well, here's some good news for Yankee fans. Bad news for the rest of the American League East. Aaron Boone also had some comments on sluggers Giancarlo Stanton and my main man, Aaron Judge.
Yeah, every now and then I tell Judgy, how much I still miss him. He's such a big figure in our room, obviously, and we really missed his presence just, since he's had to go down to Tampa this last week and hasn't been around us. But also the good news with that is that he's getting closer to being ready for games. So, yes, obviously that's huge. I don't need to tell you guys what a great player he is and what he means to our club. So the fact that he's getting close is big.
Stan?
Yeah, I'd say there's a chance next homestand that, they can be back. So.
Oh, really? That quick?
So, yeah, we got to obviously continue to check boxes and continue to have them go through their protocols. But with Stanton starting tonight, there's a chance they're both playing in AAA this weekend. So, we feel like we're making really good progress now.
Well, a little bit.
AAA this weekend. Okay, guys, here's the great thing about that. AAA this weekend means you're only a game or two away from the major leagues. And for me personally, AAA this weekend means they'll be in Scranton. Where's Scranton playing this weekend? Let's see. They're playing where? Mystery question. They're playing in Durham, North Carolina this weekend against the Bulls. So guess who has already bought his tickets to go watch the Bulls and the Scranton Rail Riders this weekend? Yes, you got it. You got it right. It's me. I am the one. Yes, you can clap and applaud because I'm looking forward to seeing Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. In fact, my tickets are right behind the dugout, right behind the Scranton Wilkes-Barre dugout on the front row. Saturday, yes. Friday night, I got tickets on the fourth row, right behind the dugout. Yes. So I'm going to have a bird's eye view. Who knows? I may even get to talk to these guys. I'm going to try at least, right? You got to give it an effort. What do you know? And if I could ever get them on a recording, you bet your bippy you're going to hear about it Monday morning on my podcast. So here you go. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep my eye on that. Yankee fans, I'm one of them. We're excited. We're going to get Judge. We're going to get Stanton. Double shot at the same time. London, look out. We're coming. All right. So this morning, questions in the chat room. Let me take a look. I'm so excited talking about my beloved Yankees that I haven't looked at the chat room in the last few minutes. So George says, does anyone know where Scranton is? It's in Pennsylvania, right? Okay, am I right? Let me know if I'm wrong, George. But they're not going to be in Scranton. They're going to be in Durham because that's where Scranton is playing this weekend, in Durham, North Carolina. So come join me at the game. Phil Chappie, are you with me? Are you coming to Durham to watch Judge and Stanton play baseball with me? Let's do it. All right? Let's do it. Jack, On your way back up from Baltimore to Baltimore, or Annapolis, why don't you just stop by Durham? We watched a game last week, a minor league game together on Friday night. Why don't we watch one this Friday night? Okay? Can't beat that. Let's give it a shot. All right. So, Mark Youngblood, in God's country, Northeast Pennsylvania. All right, I love it. It is in Pennsylvania. So, if you're wanting to go watch them play, though, this weekend, you better go to North Carolina. I'm telling you, because if you go to Scranton this weekend, they're not going to be there. They're going to be playing in Durham. This morning, Jack Youngblood was a great defensive end for the Rams. He never won a Super Bowl, right? And remember Jim Youngblood, the linebacker? They weren't related. Just thought I'd throw that out there, okay? I go back to the 70s. I love the Rams. You know, it was always like the Rams were the little train that could, but they couldn't. And because they always ran into the Cowboys. And you know what the Cowboys would do to the Rams, or the Vikings would seem to do to the Rams. This morning in the chat room, I was asked questions about Bo Bichette, Toronto Blue Jay, prospect extraordinaire, shortstop, power hitter. He can run like a deer. He can hit like, I don't know, like crazy. Bo Bichette. So I've got you some information on Bo Bichette. Here you go. He's going to be in the major leagues before long. Not as soon as Judge and Stanton, though. Bichette is expected to be activated from the 7-day injured list later this week. Okay? That's a report from sportsnet.ca. I did some digging on this. Bichette has been able to play 2 rehab games already this week with High A Dunedin in Florida. He'll likely be activated from the injured list sometime this week, then sent to AAA for a few games, then on to Toronto. The great thing about the Blue Jays, they have not seemed hesitant to call up these great new players. You know, he broke his hand. It seems to have healed. He's been playing shortstop. And it was his left hand that he broke, okay? So it's not his throwing hand. So he'll go to AAA Buffalo once activated, play a few games there, and probably will be playing in the major leagues before the end of June. Okay? He spent the last 7 weeks on the injured list. The projection was 4 to 6 weeks, so he's playing in rehab games now. I love the fact Toronto's been all in on calling up their young talent. He's the last of the big names. He probably would have already been called up, but it works out good for Toronto in that. You never want an injury. But his service time is not a factor, okay, because of the fact that he's been injured and recovering from that. And you remember what they did with Lourdes Gurriel, the phenom from last year who's come back. He's now hitting like bandits, right? And they're playing Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in left field every day. So it will be an opportunity for Bo Bichette to move into, to get regular playing time. Now, of course, you could always have a relapse. You can have things to happen. But so far, so good in his recovery. And so let's look at Bo Bichette coming up sooner than later. And I hope that helps you guys who were listening to me. I'm going to save this material because I don't know if my guys that listened to me this morning are on in the chat room this afternoon, but we'll see. Joey Wendell or Bo Bichette? It's going to be Bo Bichette first, Cha-Cha. He's going to be up and playing before Joey Wendell. That's my understanding. I want Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette or Scott Kingery? Yeah, you're killing me with that one. I'm going to take Kingery, okay, only because I've got sort of a known quantity now with Kingery that I haven't had before. However, Bo Bichette's going to be the shortstop in Toronto regularly. And so I do like opportunity. Bo Bichette's going to get that. I just haven't seen him play at the major league level. And you take a player as great as Vladdy Jr., okay, and he struggled the first month. Well, if Bichette struggled the month of July, that could be a month during which you see a player like Scott Kingery accumulate great county numbers. So for that reason, I'm going with Kingery. I think if you're looking at I'm in last place or I'm in fifth place and I'm trying to get out of fifth and move up, who's got the most upside, I think that's Bo Bichette. Okay? But But a rookie, as Lenny says, and I'll quote my guru friend, a rookie is a rookie is a rookie. I just haven't seen enough or know enough of Bo Bichette relative to the opportunity that Kingery's getting right now in Philadelphia. Okay? So I love this. Mark says Joel Youngblood, the only player to get hits for two different teams. I remember that. I actually remember that. I'm glad you pointed it out. I hadn't thought about it lately. Hits for the Cubs. He flew mid-game, played in Philadelphia, got a hit that night. Love it, love it, love it. So, Cha-Cha, give me your input on that. That's my thought process. Yours may be different. I'd love to hear it because who knows if I'm right. But I'd love to hear your thought process on it. But that's how I see those three players. So if I got to pick, I'm going to take Kingery 1, Bichette 2, Joey Wendell 3rd. The thing about Joey Wendell is even when he comes back from injury, he's not going to have regular playing time, in my opinion. Brandon Lau has played just beyond good so far this year as a rookie. He's right now, you say arguably the hottest bat in that lineup. You got to play him, all right? You got to play Adames at shortstop, and so your rotating door at third includes Diaz. So I can see Wendell being a part-time player. And again, in fantasy, I love opportunity. That's why I'm going to rank in that group of three Wendell 3rd. So again, give me your thoughts on that, Cha-Cha. Please disagree with me if you don't think I'm right. I got a couple more prospects I want to talk about. Before I talk about players on the rise, okay, it's kind of like our yeast section in just a few minutes. Good yeast, all right? We're going to talk about first a couple more prospects, though. For Seattle, how about Ian Miller? This hurts to talk about, really. Yeah. Here we go. Mitch Haniger ruptured his testicle on Friday. Doesn't that just pains me to even read this. And he's going to be on the injured list indefinitely. No joke. And Ian Miller as an outfielder at AAA, and he plays Haniger's natural right field position. He's hitting .296 with a .505 OPS this season with 5 home runs, 16 stolen bases. His strikeout and walk rates are excellent, at 19% strikeout rate and an 8% walk rate. So for the power hitter, that's great. Miller probably will get a chance in Seattle. I mean, here they are in last place, right? What have they got to lose? Get past the time frame. We talk about Super 2. Super 2 for Seattle probably, does it matter? I don't know. But for arbitration purposes, it probably does. But I think it's about time Ian Miller gets that shot. And Haniger, again, very painful. I can't imagine. Anyway, Ian Miller, look for him. He may be a player, an outfielder that you need to stash. It seems to me like in my leagues, outfielders are rarer commodities than other positions. So, good question, George. Can anyone name the top 4 pitchers in complete game shutouts since 2011? I know who can't do it. That would be me. If anyone else out there can give me that answer, that would be awesome. Cha-Cha, I can't remember what he had for lunch. I certainly can't remember. That was a great question. I just don't know the answer. I'm assuming that at least one of those pitchers might be in San Francisco. Okay, I'm going to assume one of those pitchers might be in Boston. One of those pitchers might be in Philadelphia. And I could be wrong on all of that. Give me a chance. Jack says, will Royce Lewis be up in September? I don't know about Lewis because of the team context he's in. That gives me food for thought for another day to give that some more serious consideration. But Royce Lewis, a top prospect, but he's coming up in a, somewhat difficult situation. But certainly he's got the numbers in the minor leagues that would warrant a call up if that's what is chosen for him. Minnesota, the problem is they've got a great hitting shortstop right now, and I don't know that they are going to want to bring Lewis up in September this year. They may, but I kind of doubt it with all the arbitration considerations that go in. I don't really see him coming up. Polanco's doing a great job at short. Minnesota's going to be on a winning team. I guess if they did do that, it would be because they've clinched the division and they're going to give players rest, and that would be the rationale, and to see what the kid's got. But I don't really think – I don't count on him coming up this year. Okay? Another player